Good evening. I am Miss Habrial. I teach in the high school at Tri-City Christian Academy, and this year I am covering marine biology for the 11th and 12th grade, 9th and 10th grade English and literature, research writing for the 9th grade and as an elective for any who are interested, and computer science as an elective. I'm teaching marine biology this year. The offset for that will be anatomy and physiology next year. So if you're looking for anatomy and physiology, that will fall into Mrs. McDougall's wheelhouse. So you'll be able to learn more about that in Mrs. McDougall's video. For 9th and 10th grade English, we'll be spending part of the year covering fundamentals of literature. This book will go through the basics of what makes a story, conflict, theme, character, point of view, even some structure as we get into exploring what the differences between prose and poetry are, and how stories can still play out within poetry. We engage with some very interesting stories, excerpts from Treasure Island, some Sherlock Holmes in there. We even dabble a little bit in Shakespeare, and of course are able to find all of these themes played out in scripture. So that's always a lot of fun to go through those stories with the students. For the grammar component, we are going through writing and grammar 9th grade. This will start out with some basic sentence structure, get into parts of speech, and also get into word usage and punctuation the further on we go. The vocabulary that is supplemental to the writing and grammar is level C. This deals with Latin root words, where level D of this year deals with Greek. So it'll complement very well with what students will be learning in Latin. This is a class where we do a lot of writing. So the students will learn to go through outlines and how to write story analysis, compare and contrast essays, persuasive essays. A wide variety of writing will take place in this class. They will also learn some of those things in writing and research. This is a class that's required at the freshman level, but as an elective, any student is welcome to take it if they want credit for English in that regard. We spend half of the year going through a book called Lost Tools of Writing. This is a very effective book on how to write persuasively, how to learn how to structure an argument so you have all of the effective pieces of hearing someone else's side, learning what you need to do to carry your point across clearly, and we'll also get into how to recognize good scholarly sources. How do I know when I can trust what someone else is saying if they are putting forth research? What makes a source reliable? And then going through the Prentice Hall reference guide, we'll actually be able to write essays in proper MLA format, proper bibliography, proper citations, and all of the formatting that goes with that, so that students can express their opinions professionally and with solid diction and elocution. So that's a very engaging class, very workshop style. We do a lot of working through the process as we go forward, as students learn how to put information into a system and process it into a good result, a good product. Computer science doesn't have any books necessary. We do all of that on the computers. I use a website called code.org. They have an excellent curriculum on how to understand the principles of computer science. We start with basic things like, how do computers communicate? How does the internet work? How can you be watching this video right now when the information is stored somewhere perhaps thousands of miles away? We also get into how to interact with data. We have all of this information online. How is that processed? How is that stored? How can I interpret data that I find various places and use it in what I'm studying? We then get into how to write code, how to write apps, how to understand these computer languages so that we can speak in a way that computers understand. Computers don't actually think or understand, but we use that term because of the way they process data. how can I communicate with a computer so that I can effectively create all of the things we see around us that are used in the world today. It's been compared to, knowing how to code has been compared to knowing how to write in previous centuries. Understanding how to read and write is very significant, and we are entering a world and are already in a world where being able to code and to communicate with computers has tremendous advantages. So it's a class that's a lot of fun, and one that I personally can highly recommend to any students interested in doing much with the internet in the future. So email me if you have any questions about any of my classes, and I look forward to having your students in class next year.